Hello. Found mine. I see mine.
Talking to you right here.
Yeah, that's a weird headset. Like, it doesn't feel like the microphone is actually in, like, but, like, here's the thing. Check this out. If I talk out here, all of a sudden it shows up warm. Uh-huh. I don't get it. It feels like the microphone's on the outside of the headset, which is very strange.
Alright, we are here with Capital Futsal. We have 30 minutes until game time.
How can I help you today? Hello. Hello, this is our audio check. This is Colton Wesley. Capital Futsal, live on NFPL. NFPL? NFPL. Live on the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. We're going live here in about a half an hour. Capital Futsal taking on Futsal Factory Academy. Oh, hey, look at that. We're just doing an audio check, so if you're joining us, we're just doing an audio check. Still early days.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
You are going to want to speak up more.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. We are testing the audio right now. We are testing the audio.
Hello, doing an audio level check real quick before we go live. Perfect. Sick. Let's get a little closer. Good call. I'm a yeller, so. Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's National Premier Futsal League game. Futsal Factory Academy taking on Capital Futsal in the Midwest Division. I'm Colton Wesley with Andrew Hall. You're watching live on the National Premier Futsal League Network. Andrew, this is a tough task for Capital Futsal. They played Futsal Factory Academy earlier this season. They lost 11-0. That was in the season opener. That was weeks ago. But Futsal Factory Academy, they come in undefeated, 56 goals for, 6 goals against. When you're one of those mid-table teams kind of chasing the top of the league here mid-season, what is your approach going into a game like this?
Well, Colton, you have to really be careful and proactive in your approach and make sure you stick to your game plan and maintain that defensive discipline throughout the entirety of the match. When things are going well, when things are not going your way, you have to trust the process. And then maybe at halftime, if you need to pivot then. But you really got to be careful to not be 2-3-0 down within a couple minutes here against a very goal-hungry team.
So for those of you unfamiliar with futsal, the game is played just like soccer. It's indoor here on the basketball court. We're at Sexton High School in Lansing, Michigan. You see the blue tape around the gym. That is our perimeter. The ball is pretty much live all the time until it goes in the goal. If it rolls over the line, they try to get it in quickly just to kick in, no throw-ins. The arc that you see around the goal with the blue tape, that is effectively the goalkeeper's penalty area. It's very similar to soccer. It's just faster. It plays a little bit more like hockey than it does outdoor soccer. Again, for those of you maybe unfamiliar with the game, it's very fast. You tend to see more goals, as evidenced by Futsal Factory Academy's 14 goals per game average. Capital Futsal, they tend to play a little more of a defensive game. They don't score as much, tend to play a little more tightly packed and spring out on the counter. That's something that they're going to be doing a lot today, especially given the matchup.
Well, Capital has to be really careful to not be late out of the gate. They have to start strong and maintain a strong performance throughout the entirety of the match. We've seen it throughout this season. They wait until the second half before they really click into gear and start moving. So hopefully they'll be able to come out firing on all cylinders. Futsal Factory, based on their track record, looks very likely to successfully do the same.
We'll see how Capital Futsal holds up. Tough matchup for them, but they're at home. The midpoint of the season. 2-2 Capital Futsal, 4-0 Futsal Factory Academy. That's coming up next right here on the network. Players to watch today, Futsal Factory's Thomas Dono, 8 goals, 2 assists. He leads them in goals and scoring. The captain on the Capital Futsal side, among active players today, none of them have scored more than 2 goals, but there are 5 of them that have scored 2 goals. This is a very balanced attack. A lot of guys you have to be attentive to when you're defending this Capital Futsal team.
And it's good to have those multiple line changes available to you and hopefully bring out a very consistent performance throughout the entire match. FFA, when you look at their roster on the website, there's several players, over 20 of them, but not all of them coming today. But it's good to have that diverse group to pull from.
Yeah, when they say academy, they're not kidding. This is a team and a program with a lot of depth. They don't have to send the same 10, 12 guys everywhere all over the state. They can always be rested. They can always be fresh.
Looks like we're getting ready to get started here. Referee's just doing a couple final checks.
Capital Futsal wearing the pink. They'll be moving left to right across your screen in this first half. Futsal Factory in the black, moving right to left. Ball's in play, and we are underway. Starting lineup for Capital Futsal. Coleman Brandow in the goal. On the field, Ethan Ryder, Sammy Omar, David Riley, and Jarrett Gill.
Ryder with an early miscue pass, going out, giving possession away very fast.
Something else that you're going to see, as that one goes out of bounds, we're going to have a corner. You're going to see goalkeepers be more involved in the attack than you might be accustomed to if you're more familiar with the outdoor game.
Yeah, this is something that Capital's done very well.
Shot from the corner is blocked out of play.
Something Capital tends to do very well is flying their keeper. Futsal Factory clearly benefiting from having the extra man advantage on their half.
Corner sent in, it's blocked by Brandow and rolls out for another corner. Starting for Futsal Factory today, Matt Pletcher in the goal, Graham Unsworth, Ben Pritchard, Carl Suleiman, and Thomas Dono in the field. They're going to work it back to Dono. In the corner, the cross again, and the finish! Ben Pritchard at the far post. Colin Brandow wondering where the back post defender was.
That was a great passage of play, and you can see just how advanced, and to what you said, this is very much an academy. You can see that the way that they play both on and off the ball, getting into space for an easy tap in early in the game.
1-0 the score, 30 seconds in. Dono getting a piece of that one, sending it back into Brandow. And this is exactly what you didn't want if you're Capital Futsal. You don't want to be on the back foot right away. They barely had the ball at all in this first minute, already chasing. David Riley.
Well, the good thing is it's early enough into the game where you just got to reset. You don't need to chase anything. Don't switch up your game plan. Just trust the process, and hopefully a goal will come.
One-touch passage of play in the middle. Ethan Ryder tries to carry it in, but it's taken away. Coming the other way is Unsworth. He puts it behind for a goal kick. Dean Jong, the man in charge for Capital Futsal today. Ball played down the line and settled in at the feet of Suleiman. But it rolls out. Sammy Omar going to get it in for Capital Futsal. Riley. Over Ryder on the far side. Pass picked off by Unsworth. Unsworth 3-on-1. Unsworth the pass across, and another good opportunity at the back post. Very similar to the way that they scored their first goal, but it pings off the upright. Brandow able to collect it.
This is such an unselfish bit of play right there too.
And Futsal will reward you for that crisp, one-touch, clever passing in the attacking third, working the ball around. That's the easiest way to score. The goal is small. It's go. It's 4-0 Futsal Factory in front of Capital Futsal here in the first half. And one of the things that Futsal Factory is doing, not only are they possessing the ball and creating chances, and they played crisp, right? They played so well. The ball at their feet, the passing has been one time, the passing has been quick, the runs have been good, everyone's communicating, everyone's on the same page. When they don't have the ball, I think is what's impressing me the most. They're defending very well in the attacking third. They're getting up, what in hockey we would call it a forecheck, right? You get up in the faces of the defense and you make them play the ball at their feet, right? You try to force them into a mistake, and that's how that goal was created. You got up, you played defense in the attacking third, you won the ball, and turned it into an easy chance.
Well, one of the things that you say when you watch Factory play, it's like they all know what each other are doing, and maybe that comes from playing so well together for so long. Right before the break, Capital was getting ready to do a whole other line change. They're starting to really panic to try to figure out how do we plug this leakage of goals.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of the starters are back in. I see Sammy Omar, Jarrett Gill, David Riley, and Ethan Ryder. It looks like it is just the starting lineup that's back in. That's Matt Pletcher, the goalkeeper, getting involved. Ball played on, is picked off, and an open chance just over the bar. And that's the danger of your goalkeeper not being at home, right? If you turn the ball over in the back, the shot there from Jarrett Gill.
Well, those are the chances that Capital needs to take. They cannot afford to go off target multiple times this match, especially this early on, being down 4-0.
Unsworth into the corner. Kabetu back to Unsworth, and that's well read by Omar, puts it out. Oh, last touch by... Okay, for a second they were going to say it was last touch Capital Futsal. It will be Futsal Factory in possession. 15:24 left in the first. A commanding 4-0 lead for FFA. Dono. Unsworth. Across. See that compressed shape from Capital Futsal. Trying to deny those entry passes. Outside to Dono. Dono has to shoot it, and he misses high and wide. And that might be how you deal with how technical this Futsal Factory side are. You stay compressed and force them to play around the perimeter, almost dropping off like a zone defense in basketball. Make them shoot from outside.
Well, there's a little bit of a lack of defensive discipline and tracking your mark, just being aware. And I think one of the differences is we see Brandow as a phenomenal keeper. One of the differences between him and Darwin Boswick is there's a little bit less communication in setting them up. And you can hear Boswick from the sideline trying to be Brandow's voice.
14:47 to go. Ball out of play. Capital Futsal will get it in. Flicked on Brandow, way off his line, carries it into the attack, has a shot, it's blocked. Open net on the other end, and good rally defense from Omar, but a good pass and a finish. Graham Unsworth, his first, 14:35 to go. And I was gonna say, and I still wanna give Sammy Omar his flowers for that. He did a good job rallying to the ball, fronting the ball, not letting that shot come in from deep, allowing his keeper a chance to get back, but a great ball from the back into the feet of Unsworth, who found himself in a one-on-one with Brandow. In the other way, Omar gonna have a shot, it's blocked. Matt Pletcher making himself big, getting that left hand down and getting a piece of it. Last touch by Capital Futsal. Long pass ahead and another settling touch at the near post. Ben Pritchard that time puts it wide. Brandow getting a piece of it out for a corner.
They've just been doing so well at finding their teammates with the long ball, really cutting out the middle work.
That shot from Suleiman, maybe not the best decision on that, but that also might be the worst shooting decision that Futsal Factory has made all game.
Yeah,
and it was still a pretty good look.
When you're 5-0 up 6 minutes in, I think you're allowed to take a couple of risky shots.
100%. That's more to say how good Futsal Factory have been at creating chances. And here they go again. Another interception in the attacking half and another goal on the counter. Thomas Dono has his hat trick. It only took him 6 minutes and 11 seconds.
Capital line change once again, just the sheer frustration of the situation. After losing 11-0 in their reversed fixture, coming out and being on track to have a much harsher game has to be a little bit of a blow to your morale.
Yeah, I don't think the final score is going to be 36-0, but that is the pace that we are on. 1/3 of the way through the first half. That one's poked on and collected by Pletcher. That one rolls out off the foot of Ducker. Rare mistake in the technique from Futsal Factory.
So, quick substitution from number 8, Berm Kim, only to go back out.
Played into the corner, trying to get it into Gio Alvarado, a little bit long and out. Goal kick upcoming for Futsal Factory. 13:21 to go in the first. Cole Russell beats the double team, and suddenly they've got numbers up. Looking for the cross, there it is, and the finish is high from Carl Suleiman.
I think Martinez did just enough getting back, putting some pressure on to force a potentially rushed decision there. But they are, Capital getting bailed out once again.
Futsal Factory doing a really good job creating these odd man rushes, these numbers up situations in the attacking third, whether it's winning the ball in the attacking third or some incisive pass from the back line. They've just done a great job of getting the ball in behind the defense and creating these great situations to score goals.
Yeah, and I think there's another advantage there. Number 13, Drew Decker, also the head coach. So instead of yelling at you from the sideline, he can lead with his players and teammates.
And leading with his play, too. He's been very good so far. He's already got one. His team leading half a dozen up. Storm Powers from distance, wide. And Storm Powers, if you've been paying attention to the semi-pro, arena, indoor soccer scene in the state of Michigan over the past couple of years, Storm Powers is a name who shows up a lot because he has a ton of talent, an excellent finisher, even from distance, a big coming together there on the outside of the area. It was Suleiman who got bumped by Eric Carey. I think he got bumped in the face.
It's like, yeah, he took a shoulder. I don't think there was any malice in it. But
No, not at all. Definitely hurt, though.
Field in the morning.
Russell, Suleiman, and that shot from outside. I don't think it was intended to be a shot. I think it was meant to be a cross. It was mishit. Coming the other way now, David Riley. Outside Martinez. Back across to Powers. Rolls it into the attacking half, now back over Martinez. Martinez is taken down from behind. That's a pretty easy call and a yellow card immediately. Just a clumsy challenge from Ben Pritchard.
And, you know, if you're winning 6-0 at this point in time with 12 minutes to go, you don't need to make that challenge. They haven't really shown that they want or are really putting pressure on your keeper very much, and just a foul like that is unnecessary.
Yeah, just again, no malice in it. Just a clumsy challenge. He thought the ball was going to be one place, and then it wasn't, and he was already on his way to the ground. And that's the challenge with those grounded challenges. You come in low. If you're on the ground, it makes your life a lot harder. So, yellow card issued to Futsal Factory, which means that Capital Futsal will be on the power play for the next couple of minutes. Or will they not? Excuse me, never mind. That's wrong color card. Storm Powers will have a go from distance. It's blocked by Pletcher, and the second effort is wide for Martinez. Good look at the near post, but couldn't sneak it in there at the top corner.
Yeah, well, with these smaller goals, the margins are always going to be that more fine.
And that's why you've seen so many of Futsal Factory's goals have come through the run of play, creating tap-ins near the goal line as opposed to shots from distance. And that's what Capital Futsal have been settling for, are these shots from distance. They can go in sometimes, but you're looking for higher percentage looks.
It's the third time the referee has had to come adjust the post, mostly due to the barrage from Factory.
Pass intercepted. Philip Lucht. And it's poked out. It'll go back to FFA. Pletcher. Back to Ducker. Across to Dono. In the corner. Trying to set up. Gets the cross in at the near post. It's blocked out. Schwartz on the cross. Lucht on the attempt. And Martinez getting in there and getting just enough of it to put it out for a corner.
Well, you saw Lucht unmarked for about 10 seconds in the back post there.
Brando goes to the floor to make the stop. taking it away from Schwartz off his foot. And it's turned over at the edge of the area, but Brandow is there. Throws it out quickly to David Riley. Capital Futsal playing almost panicked a little bit sometimes when they have the ball in the back. They need to just take a breath, it seems. Powers gets away from the defender, tries to play it on. It's knocked away and picked up by Ducker. Down the line, Dono. Dono works it in and misses far post. Didn't hit that the way he wanted to as the second line returns for Capital Futsal.
Yeah, Capital really, their problem is they're chasing this game, and to what you said, they're very panicked. I think they're trying to play up to their competition with a miscued pass from Charlie Holt. Another corner, presenting another threat opportunity.
Off the corner, that one's high and away from Dono. He's got the green light. He's already got 3. Looking to add more. 11 goals in the campaign for him, including tonight. Brandow throws it out. That's a good header down, but no one's there for it. And the Factory will take over.
I think they're bringing on Berm Kim, number 8 there, just to be a body to hold up the play.
Yeah, Kim about half a head taller than just about everybody else on this gym. You can use him as a target man, as a setup man, but also a big body defender, like you say, in the box. Long pass is knocked out of bounds by Dono, and it will be a corner with 10:35 to go in the first half, about halfway home in the first half of play. Been almost 4 minutes since Futsal Factory has scored. Holt to Brandow all the way across, and that one is good! Unfortunately, it doesn't count for 3, but maybe it should.
I'd say go ahead and put one on the scoreboard for that one.
Ethan Ryder buried it in one of the practice basketball hoops here at Sexton High School. Not every day you see that. Unfortunately, it doesn't count as a goal, but that one does. Andrew Schwartz, a tight angle, and Brandow spilled it, went into the top corner. The extra point is good, 7-0 Futsal Factory.
Yeah, that was just an unfortunate moment for Coleman Brandow. Not able to get his hands fully behind it.
Yeah, sometimes it comes in with such heat. It's hard to get behind it. No gloves for Brandow either, as is the standard in futsal. Halfway through the first half, 7-0 Futsal Factory. Looked, trying to dribble through, taken away by Ryder. Ryder has a shot, missed just wide of the post.
Ryder likes those shots from distance. If you give him the opportunity, he'll take them.
Dono, again. Oh, missed it. Point blank, Kabetu just had to redirect it. Never gonna find a better opportunity than that on the other end. It's Holt with a good look at the near post, but a good stop by Pletcher. Kabetu had nothing but the open net in front of him, but just mishit it. And Brandow gratefully clutched it on the other end. Holt couldn't get it to go. 9 1/4 to go in the first half, 7-0.
Capital's defense thanks him for it.
Turned over to Ryder, trying to get it into the middle. Picked back up by Ryder. Trying to save it is Jarrett Gill.
Well, we saw Capital had a moment just a moment ago on the attack.
That one is poked wide. Charles Holt in on the defense on the attempt by Kabetu, goes out for a corner. You were saying?
Ryder had set up Holt, and that's not something we've seen with Capital. They want to shoot from distance, and they needed to, I think, keep it up.
Yeah, that is probably one of the best looks they've had the entire game, maybe the best chance to score they've had the entire game, and that's just a consistent factor in futsal. You work the ball around, you move the keeper, you move the defense, someone makes the right run, and suddenly you're point blank with an easy chance to score.
And with the clock stopping every time the ball goes out of play, there is a lot of game left to play. So we very well could see some Capital goals come in here if they can turn things on.
Yeah, still a lot to play for here for Capital Futsal. They're getting more comfortable, it seems. Still trailing by 7. Dono, pass is picked off. Gill holds up the attack and seems to come up a bit limp as he makes that play. Over into the corner, Omar. Halt, sends a cross, but no runner. I think he thought that he was going to have a man running there into the key.
I think he was trying to get a little toe poke and put it in that corner.
Well, whatever his intentions, it rolls out for a goal kick. 8.5 to go, 7-0. Kabetu, being defended by Powers, tries to get it in across and wins the corner.
Another opportunity.
Shot blocked. Too many pink shirts in the way. Down the line, good move by Omar to get free. Omar the cross, it's blocked. It's well defended by Unsworth to get in the way. Omar frustrated with himself because he had Eric Carey open in the penalty area. They're going to work it back to the top. Halt's going to have a shot. It's knocked down by Pletcher. Pletcher immediately shoots because Brandow was off his line, and it's up and into the Hall of Fame. 8:09 to go, 7-0. Down the line and out of play. Out for a goal kick. And there is another element to this for Capital Futsal. You saw Charles Halt take that shot from distance, and not to make another reference to hockey, but sometimes you see that players shooting from the edge of the area or the edge of the offensive zone, looking for someone to get a tap on it, looking for a goalkeeper to spill it, create a shot in front of the goal that way as well. Omar with another good move in the cross, and it's in the back of the net! Sammy Omar put the cross in. It hit off of Pletcher. And I don't think it hit Powers. I think it's going to be Sammy Omar's goal on his own. 7:53 to go in the first.
Well, we've seen them, as we've said, growing into the game. This is where they need to start to take a little bit more of a hold and try to assert themselves with more possession.
Well, they've looked more comfortable overall in the past 6 minutes or so. Still obviously chasing it at this point, trailing 7-1, but a much better middle third of the first half as opposed to that first third. Trying to finish the half strong as Powers gets his body in the way of that one. And if I was standing in front of Cole Russell having a rip from the outside, I would make a business decision to get out of the way. But Storm Powers is a tougher cookie than I am.
A brave man for sure. I think even if I was a goalkeeper, I'd get out of the way of some of these shots.
That one touched out a play by Suleiman. That's good pressure from Sammy Omar. Sammy Omar's played very well in this game for Capital Futsal. Good moving on the ball, good defense off the ball, and of course the goal scorer. 7.5 to go in the first. I'd say he's been the brightest spot for Capital in this first half so far, and here he is on the defense teaming up with Charles Halt to try to win the ball, and it's Omar who comes away with it, trying to keep it, and that's well won by Ben Pritchard in the midfield. They'll work it all the way back to Suleiman. Ducker. And that one rolls into Brandow, took a touch, and then quickly springing out to Powers. Powers trying to skip past the defender, lifts it across, and well done to head it back into play.
It's a good save.
Back to Halt, lifts it on. I think it was just a mishit from Halt. Transition, the shot is wide from Russell. I want to go back to Eric Carey. That pass was high. Carey not only gets ahead on it to keep it in play, also heads it down to a teammate, manages to keep possession. That's a tough touch in a compressed area, and he did a good job.
Yeah, you have to say that that was a good decision and a fortunate decision that they were able to maintain possession and keep the ball in play. While it stopped their forward momentum, they didn't lose the ball.
Possession is everything, as they say. Carey puts it out, quick throw the other direction, trying to touch it into the middle. Suleiman. But it's a little bit long for him, and he couldn't get it in cleanly.
It's a bit of a miscontrol.
6:35 to go in the first, 7-1. Futsal Factory in front. Martinez under heavy pressure from Pritchard, and it's poked out. Last touch, I believe, by Pritchard. With the Capital ball. Into Riley, all the way across into the middle now. Jarrett Gill rolls out. Futsal Factory in possession now. Walks it into the space, has a shot. Jarrett Gill blocks it out for a corner.
Well, it's not something you'd be expecting if you're the Capital defense. They've been playing so conservatively, only scoring selfless goals. So to have a shot from distance probably caught him off guard a little.
Pass across is picked off by Riley. Riley trying to lead the attack. Gets it outside. Poking it in is Gill. Was looking for the far post, but well defended. I think that was Suleiman who got his body in the way. They'll work it all the way out to Brandow and reset the attack. 6 minutes to go in the first, trailing 7-1.
Yeah, they're creating more opportunities, that's for sure.
Gill. Diagonal ball. Picked up by Ryder, and he'll reset the attack back at midfield. Ryder tries to have a shot. Suleiman gets in the way, but well done by Jarrett Gill putting on the pressure, but he can't keep it. And now Futsal Factory trying to break out. A nice combination flick. Looking to hit Russell on the run into the corner, a bit long for him, but again, that nice combination, that's how you break out in defense. A couple of quick balls and a foul there on Suleiman, just getting a little bit too much of Gill. Only the second foul called on Futsal Factory, and I doubt this one will have a booking involved.
I think it's been a very clean game. Just a couple moments of lack of control, lack of discipline. He'll obviously argue that he did nothing wrong, but referee doesn't see it that way.
So free kick coming up for Charles Holt, one man in the wall for Futsal Factory.
Be interesting to see if he shoots this or if he tries to pass it off to perhaps Omar.
He will pass it off.
Martinez, I'm sorry.
Holt shot, Fletcher knocks it down with his arm, but he can't catch it. Rolls out to Holt, who's going to shoot it, and very easily stepping back into the goal to make the stop is Ducker. And again, that's something that defenders have to do in a futsal context because goalkeepers are just more aggressive. You only have five guys on the field. Taken away, and the shot is blocked. The second effort, and it's wide!
He'll be kicking himself for that one.
Fans are celebrating, but I believe it did go wide, and it did in fact. It'll be a goal kick. There was celebration. I think a number of the supporters thought that was a goal.
Well, I think if he could go back in time, he'd wish he could have that opportunity back. That goal was not necessarily gaping, but certainly more open than the goalkeeper would have liked.
Timeout Futsal Factory. 4:59 to go in the first. They lead 7-1 here at Sexton High School in Lansing, Michigan. We were here. This is an open-ended media production. We were here for our MHSAA basketball game of the week just a couple of nights ago. Keyshawn Somerville for Sexton High School scoring 49 points to set a school record in a senior night win over Ionia. The J-Dubs getting ready for districts after rolling through the CAAC White, one of the best teams in the state. They think they can win a Division II state championship. But this gym was the site of that game, and of course is also the home of Capital Futsal. We'll be back for the last home game of the campaign, first weekend in April, when they take on Inter Detroit, in a game that very well might have some serious table implications, with Inter and Capital both sitting at 6 points in the table coming into this week.
Yeah, we could find ourselves for a crucial final couple of weeks here with Capital and Inter battling it out to try to take control of that second place. It's anyone's position at this moment in time.
Under 5 to go in the first. Unsworth on the outside, working in combination to keep it in there. Dono sent all the way across by Schwartz, but it's high and out of play. 4:49 to go. Back into the feet of Riley, working with Jarrett Gill, lifted on, trying to get it in to Riley again, I think, in transition. Futsal Factory, they got numbers, and the finish! Thomas Dono, he's got 4, 8-1.
Well, Jarrett Gill on the defense, trying to put them under pressure, but just couldn't get there quick enough, and that left Capital with just one person chasing the play. and the odds were always going to favor Futsal Factory.
Well, they've created so many of those opportunities, so many of those 2-on-1, 3-on-1 opportunities by winning the ball in the midfield, winning the ball in the attacking third, intercepting the pass, and then it's one pass and you're out and you're on your way. That's just what they've been so good at.
Goalie's getting pretty high forward.
4.5 to go, and you're right. Matt Pletcher way up involved in the play. Even for futsal, that's pretty aggressive. Luke sends it into the corner, and a nice dribble to the top of the arc. They send it back to Dono, who scores. And you wonder how much of that was just the changing of the shape, the changing of the attitude. By throwing the goalkeeper up, like, what do you do as a defense when the goalkeeper is that far up? How does it change your posture? And it might have unsettled Capital's defense a little bit.
I think they took a chance because they knew he was there. They didn't do anything to pick him up. And then he crashed into the box just to create a little bit of pandemonium. And that's when they drew their defense to him. And you saw them leave Dono wide open to just hammer it into the top corner.
Futsal is a game that thrives on chaos. That cross from Schwartz behind his intended target and out of play. 4 minutes to go, 9-1. Futsal Factory in firm control. Pass is picked off by Dono. Dono working it on ahead. Nice move past him. Flicks it ahead, trying to get it over Brando. Brando blocks it, and it's out for a goal kick. Brando got just a little bit of it. Dono was looking for the clever tap over the keeper, but Brando got a hand up to it. Played down the line and unable to keep it in is Ryder. Dono working it on ahead. Nice move past him. Flicks it ahead, trying to 1.
Factory pouring numbers forward.
Dono flicks it on. Luke. Back to Dono. Across. Trying to step into it is Unsworth. Draws the pressure out to Dono, and Dono took a bad step. Was trying to step onto it, but honestly just led with the wrong foot as he was trying to make that move outside, and he couldn't catch up to the ball. He acknowledges it to Unsworth. That ball in, flighted and held by Pletcher, and Futsal Factory on the move again, and a foul on Omar. Got a little bit too much of Kabetu. That'll be the first foul on Futsal, or Capital Futsal rather. They shake up, all good. No harm, but a foul. And it'll be a free kick for Futsal Factory. 3:18 to go in the first half, leading 9-1. Long ball across, Dono. Pass is picked off across the middle. Omar working it outside. 2 defenders collide. Omar, and it's saved by Pletcher.
Pletcher did a great job. His defenders took themselves out.
Kabetu spilled by the challenge. And that might be the first call with some controversy. Everything else has been a pretty easy call, but only the second foul called on Capital Futsal.
Not a huge protest.
Dono rolls it in, looking for the far post with the poke. It's all the way out, and that shot from distance is wide of everything. 2:53 to go in the first. Ball played out from the back. Brandau was way up in the attacking half as they played that ball in. Rolled out by Unsworth. And Alvarado will try again. This time Brandau staying a little closer to home. They try something similar, passing into the feet of Omar, tries to get it through, taken away by Dono. Well defended there by Eric Carey to get involved. Carey back on the ball. Approaching 2.5 to play in the first half, 9-1. Omar. Carey. Carey again.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm just doing a visual analysis of how these players are looking, Capital looks fatigued and almost just confused. Whereas
Dono shot blocked by Alvarado out of play. Continue.
Whereas Factory, you know, they look tired, but they know that they're working for each other. They clearly are all on the same wavelength. They know that they can sub out whenever. Just they look used. Whereas
Well, the fatigue levels definitely suffer when you're trying to chase the game, as that one's played down the line and kicked out of play by Brandau for a... Well, they're going to say that it went out of bounds, Unsworth, before he even crossed it, so it'll be a goal kick, rather, with 2 minutes to go in the half. I think that the fatigue factor that you're talking about, I think you're definitely correct. I think a lot of that comes from the fact that Capital Futsal wasn't chasing the game this whole time. They've had maybe 35-40% of the possession. Futsal Factory, they've been in control. They've passed the ball around. They're making Capital Futsal chase them around. And when you're in possession and you have to make a simple run, a simple pass, a 1-2 combination, you don't have to be sprinting the whole time because you know where the ball is and you know where it's going. It helps with the fatigue factor, even though they have similarly sized benches. Capital Futsal has more guys than Futsal Factory today.
They're also getting frustrated on the bench, too. Not helping their mental fortitude.
Russell sends it across, and it's over everything and out. Holt will get this one in, asking a question of the official, and then sends it on its way. Brought down on the chest by Ducker. Flicked in. That's a nice flick and a finish, but a block. A good attempt from Russell, but a better stop from Brandau. On the other end, the shot is wide from Alvarado, but it touched off the defender. It'll be a corner with 1:27 to go. Maurice Boyd
Protesting his innocence there.
referee having none of it. All the way back to Brandau, right on the logo. Brandau rolls it over into the corner. Martinez looking for the support. Outside O'Reilly, flicked into the middle and stopped, turned over, coming the other way, Ducker. He'll hold up the play, they'll work it around the back. 1:10 to go in the half. Kabetu. Russell steps into it. Outside, Ducker, back to Russell, and a finish! Buries it. Bottom corner, no missing. With 1 minute to go. Kabetu. Russell steps into it.
I don't think you could have placed
Outside,
that
Ducker,
any
back to
more
Russell,
perfect.
and a finish! Buries it.
The layoff from Decker, which allowed Russell to get that shot off with such power and precision. Phenomenal, once again, by Factory Futsal.
Final minute now, 10-1. Not what Capital Futsal wanted to see at all, but that's a nice turn by Martinez. Martinez down the line and out for a corner. 43 seconds. Holt checks into the play. Holt gets it across, trying to get it, I think, to Riley, but just missed him. Last touch by Factory Futsal, so they'll keep it. Capital will. Holt has a shot, and that's over everything. 38 seconds to go. Just a rash attempt. Didn't need that. Maybe an opportunity to work the ball around. Capital Futsal have never quite looked comfortable. They're definitely more comfortable than in the first few minutes of the game, but still never felt like they really were in this game and like on top of it.
Well, when you get teams who it's their first season in a league like this against a variety of opponents, it can be very tricky managing the confidence levels and momentum when you know you're going up against the highest scorer across all divisions in Factory Futsal. Truly a different beast in this league.
15 seconds to go as Futsal Factory work one more chance. That one's wide. 11 seconds on the clock. Brandau with the long throw. Holt heads it in. Oh! He caught Pletcher off guard. Pletcher thought that was going to be a cross, but Pletcher, way at the top of his arc, had to work his way all the way back to the corner to make that stop. And that's going to take us to the end of the first.
Fletcher did a good job there, just on that quick reaction to make that final decision that he should go just to be safe than sorry.
Heads it in. Oh! He caught Fletcher off at the break, and we will take a break. You're watching the National Premier Futsal League on the NPFL Network. Guard, Fletcher, presented by Open-Ended Media. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sexton High School. Second half action about to begin between Futsal Factory Academy and Capital Futsal. 10-1 the score. It was a rough first half for Capital Futsal. I think that we can say that pretty honestly.
Yeah, it really was. They wanted to play their game of sit back and allow Factory to have the possession and the lion's share of it, and they ran into quite a bit of trouble. Some troubling news out of the Capital bench. Darwin Bostwick was warming up to replace Coleman Brandow, and it looks like he sustained either a foot or leg injury and had to go back to the bench. So hopefully nothing too serious. Well wishes for him.
Yeah, that's not going to help Capital Futsal with their usual two-keeper deployment. Usually they split halves between Brandow and Bostwick. But not having Bostwick means that Brandow is going to have to be responsible for the goal for the entire 40 minutes today.
Well, at least he's already warmed up and prepared and knows what to expect.
Absolutely he does. Capital Futsal in the pink, moving right to left across your screen. Futsal Factory in the black. Second half action back underway, and that's a foul. Graham Unsworth on the infraction, charging through the back of Jarrett Gill. It'll be a free kick for Capital.
I don't think we can say like one of the ones in the first half. That was very well deserved a foul.
Haven't been a ton of fouls. It's only, I believe, the fifth foul of the entire game. Gill has a shot just wide of the corner. That was a good take on the free kick, but he couldn't get it to go, and seems to be some disagreement over whose ball it is. It will be, in fact, Futsal Factory's possession. Fletcher will roll it out. We'll get back in. Dono down the line. Keeping it in? Nope, never mind. He did not keep it in. Ball in the hands of Charles Holt. He'll put it on the ground and get us back rolling again. Holt, a long ball from distance. I don't think that was a shot, but I'm not sure whose target would have been through all that traffic. Gonna be honest, I've watched Charlie Holt play a fair share of games across multiple teams, multiple leagues. He's not been up to his usual standard today, and he would probably tell you that himself.
Well,
that shot from the corner wide from Ryder.
You can hear it from his frustration even when he's on the bench. I think he expects a higher standard to be set by himself, and the fact that as captain he may feel a little bit more responsible than the other players that they're in this predicament.
That cross just missing Jarrett Gill in on the defense. And a foul. That one's going to be on Suleiman. And a free kick. Ethan Reiner, the offended party.
Yeah, it looks like there was just a little bit of a two hands in the back. I don't know how powerful of a shove it was, but
it looked more like Suleiman ran into the back of Ryder trying to get to a space, trying to get to a spot more than anything else.
I think the referee has every right to call that.
Holt into the corner, back to Holt, got some space, trying to send it across to the back post. Suleiman on it, Holt on the defense, taken away. In the corner, Holt wins it back, and it rolls out for a corner. That's good stuff from Capital Futsal, defending in the first, or in the attacking half of the field. That's what you want to see. That's how you can create chances in this game, and that's a good take from Ryder. He misses it wide, but a good look from Ethan Ryder on the corner.
Well, I think this is a much better start to a half than we saw a little over an hour ago.
And keeper held onto it for too long. Fletcher held onto it for 5 seconds. It'll be a free kick for Futsal, or Capital Futsal rather.
Well, now if you can capitalize on this opportunity, get the first goal of the half, hopefully maintain this pressure that we've seen them putting on, we might be able to see them make a game out of it yet.
You can treat this more or less like a penalty, just everyone gets to be in the box for it. Holt rolls it, Gill blocked. Fletcher on the stop. As soon as Holt touches it, Fletcher can run up and make himself big, and that's what he did in that spot. Classic good goalkeeping. At any level, on any field, that's what they'll tell you to do. Come out, make yourself big, and he gets the save. Riley, down the line, in the middle, and Pletcher, I don't know exactly how he ended up with the ball, but he'll absolutely take it. On to Dono, and touched out by Riley.
He did a good job coming out, cutting off that angle, knowing that his other players were able to cover the sides of the goal.
Last touch by Futsal Factory. The Capital will turn it over. 2 minutes gone in the second. It's 10-1. Brandau tries to keep it in, but he can't. He'll watch it roll out for a corner.
And we'll see what Factory has up here. They've been pretty lethal from set pieces and just putting the ball in quick.
Unsworth back to the top of the area. Boyd outside and all the way back across. Dono blocked by Brandau. Out for another corner. Andrew Schwartz will go take it. 2 changes in for Futsal Factory.
Brandau parried it into the ground. The bounce almost took it into the goal. We've already seen one miscontrolled save that led to a goal for Factory.
Back to Ducker, trying to move past Gill, but Gill with the stick of a challenge. But then he's trying to get across and he finds a way to get it to Riley. Riley back to Gill, but they turn it over. Man, a couple of chances there for Capital Futsal, try to break out and have a chance at the goal, but they weren't able to get control of the ball the way they needed to.
Factory players also did a good job coming back.
Riley. Ball ahead is blocked by Schwartz. And Pletcher will roll it out. Boyd. Into the feet of Schwartz. And work it back to Ducker. Schwartz. Russell. High and ahead, trying to get it into Ducker, but a little bit too much. And it flies out.
Well, you needed Eric Carey over there to keep that ball in play. Unfortunately, he's for the other team.
Diagonal ball across, trying to keep it in as Riley can't do it. Russell gets it in. 10-1 the score. Pass ahead deflected by Riley and out. Russell will do the honors. Trying to work down the line to Schwartz, and it's blocked by Powers. And out of play. $16.5 left in this one. Futsal Factory 10, Capital 1.
Well, if you're Futsal Factory, knowing that they've come out Capital came out very strong and showing a lot of pressure. If you're Factory, do you just want to slow it down, maintain possession, and just bleed that clock to reduce the percentage that there is a comeback on the horizon? Or do you want to just continue to play how you've been playing?
Holt rips one across the face, but it goes out on the other side. To answer that question, honestly, if I'm Futsal Factory, I'm not changing a thing. You're up 10-1, you've outplayed Capital Futsal, and maybe they come out with a different shapes and different tactics in the second half, but you just keep doing what you're doing. You've been the better team the entire game, and that's a wide open chance, but Ducker can't score it. Coleman Brandau came out, made himself big, and Ducker puts it wide. Rolled out to Eric Carey. Back across to Storm Powers. That's a good diagonal ball ahead. Maybe a little too strong of a touch. As Pletcher once again comes out to shrink the goal.
Powers did a great job to find Carey on that through ball. Just needed a slightly softer touch.
Diagonal ball ahead. Boyd blocked by Brandau, and he picks it up. On to Omar. Omar sends it in looking for Powers. And last touch by Powers, it will be FFA possession. Russell lost it. Omar forcing the issue. forcing Pletcher to make the save out for a corner.
I think Pletcher was smart and stayed aware of what was going on and was able to therefore stay on his toes and just get his hands to the ball.
Martinez shot blocked. 15-20 to go, second half. 10-1 Futsal Factory. Omar trying to work in combination with Carey, decides to take it himself, draws the crowd. Will work it back to the top, Martinez. Back to Carey. Dances by one, but too much pressure. Ducker lost it, and the shot is blocked and out of play.
Well, it's a great passage play for Capital, and this is exactly the kind of pressure you want to maintain.
Capital Futsal getting it back into play. Omar. Down the line, Carey. Carey into the corner. He stopped, stayed in play. Coming the other way, Kabetu. Down the line, and the shot is blocked. Attempt by Pritchard. Capital trying to break out. Carey across, looking for Powers, but a good step by Luke. He'll work it back to his keeper. 14.5 to go, 10-1. Futsal Factory still well in control. Dono to Luke. Back to Dono. Looking in the corner for Kabetu, but it rolls out, but then they get it in quickly. It's off the post. Pritchard on. Trying to settle it outside. Dono rolls it, fires off the post again. Both posts getting involved. The back of the net, not so much. 14-12 to go, and still 10-1 Futsal Factory. Thomas Dono has scored 5 goals in this one. I'm going to be honest, if you ask him, he'll say he should have 10.
Agreed. That post has probably got the second most amount of saves in this facility tonight. Pletcher not having to do too much today.
Ball out of play, it hits one of the basketball hoops that's been elevated above the gym floor. That cross is deflected and out. 14 minutes to go. Pritchard, working in combination, decides to give it back to Pletcher. Outside, Dono. In the middle, back to Dono. Futsal Factory doing what they do, work the ball around, try to change the shape of the defense. Capital Futsal on kind of a diamond square shape. Powers with the stop. Powers still on it. Has a go. Blocked by Pletcher with the second effort. And Martinez has scored.
Well, I think Pletcher will be disappointed that he didn't seemingly react in time to get a hand out to parry it wide. But he did make the initial save. It just was unlucky falling to Lincoln Martinez.
Well, how many goals in this game come as a result of crashing the net and creating chances for yourself by virtue of creating opportunities off the rebound? And on the other end, Dono just puts it right back. He puts it to the far post, and it's touched into the back of the net by Pritchard. Didn't even give us a chance to talk about the one goal that just happened. 13:33 to go in the second. Ben Pritchard has his second. And it's 11-2 on the assist by Dono. And that's a foul on Omar. He gets a little bit too into the back of Philip Lucht.
I think that's Capital's first foul of this half.
Yeah, it's been a pretty clean game, all things considered. Dono across. Oh, that should have been a one-time finish from Pritchard, but he couldn't get his body around like a left-handed infielder. And it's out.
Brandow did a good job to cut that cross out. They're working the ball so well, Factory.
Dono. Down the line. Luke in the middle. Pritchard with a clever touch, but a better stop. Charlie Holt getting back there and helping out his goalkeeper. Storm Powers. Ball is touched out. One of the things about games in which a lot of goals are scored, you also get to see some good defending and good goalkeeping just because of the pressure that's been put on the goal. So we've seen some really fun defensive highlights in this one. Holt across, trying to find Omar, or excuse me, that's Martinez rather. And Martinez makes a business decision. He sees Pletcher coming out and just watches it out.
Yeah, I think to your point, 11 goals conceded take nothing away from the performance of Brandau.
And they're going to call Charlie Hall for that. A little surprised they didn't try to play advantage there. Philip Luke might have had an opportunity at a cross, but instead it will be a free kick for Futsal Factory with 12:40 to go.
Well, one of the sideline referees was gearing up to play advantage, but the center ref had made his mind.
Referee paces off 5 yards in the fresh Sambas. Pritchard trying to get it to Dono. That's well defended. They work it back out to Pritchard. Trying to flick it on and does. Oh, but Brandau gets up and makes himself big. But it's stolen from him by Dono. Pass in front is knocked away and cleared away. Under 12 and a half to go. Change is coming in. Power's off. Pritchard rips it. Shot is blocked. The second effort, Dono! It's over the bar. Pritchard with it again in the midfield. Getting a piece of it is Gill. Back to Pritchard. Dono outside. Riley in on the defense. They work it back to Pritchard. Outside Dono. Pritchard! Collected easily by Brandau. Rolls it out to Halt. Ryder back to Riley, who was the one who just came in. Turned over, Pritchard moves past Halt, across, open net, and a goal. Graham Unsworth, his second goal.
It looked like Charlie Halt was getting ready to potentially foul some of the attackers in that build-up. And maybe it would have been the smart thing to do to prevent another goal from going in.
12-2 the score. Futsal Factory maintains their vice grip on this one. Halt, long ball ahead, and hitting the deck is Ryder, and he's going to make the argument that Suleiman fouled him. And Suleiman protesting his case, even though I don't think the officials called anything.
I think there was just a coming together of them.
I agree. Yeah, we made mention of the fact that there haven't been that many fouls called in this game. That pass behind Unsworth and out of play. There haven't been that many fouls in this game, all things considered, which, you know, it's made for a better viewing experience.
Yeah, it's 5 fouls to 4, and I think FFA being in the lead right there, but it shows it's been a consistently called game. It's not...
Yeah, there's maybe been one call that had any real questioning from the other side. Referees haven't been busy, and as an official, I'm sure that they're very grateful. Brandau way out of position as he tried to track that one down. He's going to hustle back to his own net. Yeah, if you're an official and you get to call a game like this, you feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, it hasn't been a game where you really feel that the control is being lost based on the calls that you're making.
Oh my goodness, that one nearly turned over into the back of the net. Jarrett Gill trying to get it out. Andrew Schwartz gets a touch on it and almost put it in. A dozen for Futsal Factory, 2 for Capital Futsal. This game well in hand at this point with 10:40 to go. Gill leaves it for Halt, whose pass is intended for Riley. And Ryder walks it out. And Futsal Factory will put it back into play.
I think the difference this game, and I may have said it already, has been that Factory have been so crisp on their passes, but when they make mistakes, Capital has not been able to take advantage of it, whereas on the other way around, anytime Capital makes a mistake, Factory's all over you, immediately looking to put a shot on target.
That shot is wide from Jarrett Gill. A bit of a coming together between, I believe, Andrew Schwartz and Charles Halt. Schwartz wanted the call, didn't get it. 10-12 to go. Boyd under pressure into the middle. Unsworth, and they'll work it back and around. The shot blocked. Back out to the top, Unsworth. In the middle to Schwartz. On the outside, the shot blocked by a couple defenders. And out of play. Looks like Omar's coming in, going to replace Ryder. Halfway home in the second half. 12-2 the score. Shot looking for the bottom corner, missed it wide. As Drew Ducker, player coach, checks back in and immediately plays it off of Riley and out. Fletcher will get this ball back in. Ducker, nice ball into the middle. Back to Ducker. Oh, that's a clever bit of attacking skill. Good combination play.
Capital
Ducker and Schwartz.
Can't seem to keep it contained, and they're going to call a timeout.
Excuse me, that was Luke, rather, not Schwartz. 6, not 5. With 9:37 to go. A nice bit of combination play between the two of them. Luke is in the book for the first time. 13-2 is the score. We're going to take a little break and we'll be right back. You are watching the National Premier Futsal League on the NPFL Network. Back to live action, National Futsal Premier League, 13-2. Futsal Factory leading Capital Futsal. And immediately conceding pressure, but spinning out of it's Eric Carey. Carey on a run. Carey has a go, it's blocked. Ducker sliding in to block the shot, and Capital will reset the attack. 9.5 to go.
Well, he went from
Brandow shot blocked. And turned over, and he puts it goalwards, and it's just wide. Bit of an empty net situation. Kabetu almost scored again. You were saying?
I was going to say, Eric Carey did a great job at turning what could have been a disaster into almost something. And then Brandow, and I think the whole stadium just watching to see if it was going to be on target or not, with that ball just rolling slowly towards the goal.
As a goalkeeper, you just hold your breath whenever that happens. You're like, oh no, please don't go in. Brandow stopping that one, stopping another one, and finally able to claim it. Under 9 to play. Rolls it out to Martinez. Omar, FFA with that heavy pressure again in the attacking half. Martinez spins out of the pressure, takes it into the corner, maybe looking for the ball across here, but a good step and a takeaway, and nice individual skill by Kabetu to create some space. Back to Ducker rather. Over to Unsworth through the keeper. And FFA obviously in no hurry if they don't need to be. But it's also one of those situations where you want to continue to work your attack, continue to get reps. You only have so many live opportunities against real opponents. And goal differential does matter. I don't know if there's any real doubt that Football Factory is going to win the Midwest Division. They've blown out pretty much everybody in the league this year.
Yeah, I think their grip is a little too tight, even halfway through the season that we are right now, a little bit into the later stages.
If this result held exactly as it is right now, as that pass all the way back towards the goal, it's an own goal. Oh dear. And they're not issuing the goal. The ball was not touched after it was played in. I think it still has to be touched. Pritchard was taking the argument that the defender, who I believe it was Eric Carey who was over there, that he did touch it. Referee saying he didn't, so no goal. They're going to get it in, and that's a goal. Never mind. As the kids say, ball don't lie, I suppose. Absolutely buried that thing. Andrew Schwartz, my gosh.
Well, with a little bit of hindsight, no need to protest the situation.
Just put the ball in the net.
They've been very good at that tonight.
They have been. That's the second for Schwartz. Trying to keep track over here. The numbers keep climbing. And as I was about to say, if this result holds, that will be 70 goals for Futsal Factory and 8 conceded in 5 games. If this result is the final score, which frankly I doubt. All the way across, Brando brings it down on the chest, way out of his goal, and Ducker gonna have the aggressive go, and you don't blame him, it's over the bar, but you don't mind that attempt with the keeper way off his line like that.
At this stage in the game, 12-goal deficit, have a shot, son.
And, you know, if anyone doesn't like it, what are they gonna do about it? He's the coach.
I'm surprised he's not also the captain. Maybe there's some ethical issues with that.
Well, it makes a lot of sense, honestly, that you would have a captain be someone who isn't your player coach, just so you have another voice, another person who can maybe talk to the coach, right, who's on maybe not equal footing, but high enough footing that the coach isn't the only person in authority, and that's another good goal. That one ripped in by Dono to the back post and then finished at the back post by Schwartz. That's another good ball in from Dono. As much as Dono has scored a lot of goals tonight, he has also been the assist man on a number of these as well, and it's almost always a brilliantly weighted and brilliantly placed ball right into the feet of someone who's just waiting to score.
Well, and you've seen this game so far, so many great movements off the ball. You wonder how much time when they are in training are they spending just running routes and plays like this, because it seems like no matter where they are on the pitch, they've got a plan for something.
Dono looking for another one, and he couldn't get this one in the cross. I'm going to be honest, I don't think that it's set plays and set formations. I think it's identifying the situation and making the runs and making the passes that the situation calls for. It's very tiki-taka, free-flowing kind of play. I don't think it's very, I think the strength is that it's not all that structured. It's just guys recognizing, hey, the ball is here, the play is flowing in this way, I need to get here to create an opportunity. Dono, looking for the back post again, Graham Unsworth, and Capital Futsal have not figured out how to defend that run to the back post that has beaten them so many times in this game. They're gonna watch this film and wonder how this beat them so many times. Shot!
And to your point earlier, I think they see that they're having a lot of success, and if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Brando with the long throw. Trying to settle it on the ground. Unsworth to get it out. It pings off the arm of Unsworth. No, it pings off the arm of... no, it was Unsworth. The referee pointed in the wrong direction initially. I thought that he was going to put it on Martinez there for a moment. But it will be on Unsworth. And a free kick coming up for Capital Futsal with 6:34 left on the second half clock. Just seeing this one out, most important thing for both teams now is get out of this without injury and without incident.
Well, now what are we going to do? We're going to see a shot direct. You know, Ryder likes to hit him from distance. So does Holt.
Leaving it for Hart. And Holt can't get it to go, but the second effort sends it into the top, where Riley puts it over the bar.
Yeah, he just stabbed at it with his toe and got under it.
A lot of traffic, difficult to get a clean strike on a ball when there's that much defense around it. Holt with the sliding challenge, and they're going to give him the whistle for that one. And Holt doesn't like it. Holt's going to be booked, a yellow card. And I don't know if it was for the tackle as much as it was what he said afterward. He was obviously upset with the call.
I think it was a combination of after the first tackle, which was fine to take the ball, the second one might have just been a little too risky. And even if he did get the ball, he did get his man as well.
Ball across is headed back in, headed down, and there's contact and a whistle. And Looks like Martinez, or excuse me, Kim rather, and he's going to get a yellow card for that. He came in trying to get the ball, but the foot came in high and he caught the defender in the stomach. I believe that's Suleiman. So yellow card issued to Burn Kim with 6:19 to go. So 2 yellow cards in 5 seconds for Capital Futsal. And I don't think that's an indicator that they're getting out of control or anything, but you do want to be careful.
Yeah, well, and I think there was no ill intent with
No,
that
none at all.
challenge,
None at all.
but it is one of those you have to
Yep.
caution a player for the safety.
Absolutely. Again, the most important thing now at this point of a game like this is that shot is blocked and out for a corner, is that you don't get hurt. That's the number one priority for both teams now in these final 6 minutes. Suleiman, lifted ball to the top, ripped, and that's wide of everything, but I love the attempt there from Schwartz. If you put that on frame, it's a highlight you're going to cherish forever. If you don't, it's one you want to forget.
Well, maybe that's why he subbed off. Who's to say?
Turnover, the shot, it's over the bar. Kim in on the defense there of Pritchard. Pritchard hit the deck. Brandau, throw is picked off and turned over to Ryder. Ball up in the air between the rafters, but doesn't hit anything, so it stays live. Unsworth loses it to Kim, taking away Dono, tries to leave it off, and a foul on Halt.
Halt's got to be really careful here. That's
Already
2
playing on a
consecutive fouls, and that'll be the 5th.
And I believe that now Halt having a conversation with the official. He doesn't like the call. He's not being disrespectful about it, it doesn't seem, but he definitely doesn't like the call.
I think the referee doing everything in his power not to book him as long as he can calm himself down.
Yeah, you really don't want to book a player if you don't have to as an official. Usually. A good referee doesn't want to book a player unless they have to. And Halt didn't do anything, I don't think, that deserved a booking there, but he did want to at least get an explanation. Riley. Martinez. Good sliding challenge by Dono to get a piece of it. 5.5 to go. 15-2. Ryder. Wide.
Looked good.
Not a bad strike. He had the space. Just about a foot wide of the post. Combination looking for Dono. Can't get it to him. It rolls out of play. 5:12 to go in the second rather.
Scoreline and time were just mirrored opposites for a second there.
5 minutes left now. Capital Futsal just trying to get out of here and figure out what went wrong. They came in huge underdogs. It's not a shock that they lose this game, but 15-2 is a lot more than they expected to lose by, as that is a great stop by Brandau. Russell hit that thing 100 miles an hour, but it's deflected up and over. Futsal Factory getting it in quickly. They're going to work it back to the midfield. Russell! That's wide. And at this point, you're maybe trying for the showman's goal a little bit more if you're Futsal Factory.
Yeah, you don't need to do anything too major to see this.
Oh, that's a
game
good
out.
ball in Martinez!
Oh,
With the finish to the bottom corner, Jarrett Gill on the assist. That's 2 for Martinez.
that was a brilliant piece of play by Gill just to find the pass through the legs. Martinez picking up the pass and being able to bury that into the back right corner.
And hey, it's good to put those things on tape. Consolation goals are still worth celebrating. 15-3 the score. And for what it's worth, this is 3 goals more than they scored last time they played Futsal Factory, so you'll take that where you can get it. Brandau rolls it out for Martinez. Martinez trying again. That one's blocked and out of play with 4:17 on the second half clock.
Well, I think the best goal today was definitely the one that went into the basketball hoop, but that one, of course, not counting.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is probably my favorite highlight from this one. As much as there have been some really good goals and some really fun plays, I've never seen someone score a basket in a futsal game. That was pretty unique.
Put that one on your highlight reel.
Exactly. 4:10 to go.
Alvarado putting some pressure on.
Ducker trying to dance out of the trouble, but he's forced out. And it will be Capital Futsal in possession. Sammy Omar on the defense that time. As we reach the final 4 minutes. Brandow. Back across. Gill. Carey. Omar. Cross is blocked.
Brandow staying up high and wide.
Martinez. Brandow. Back to Martinez. Flicks it on down the line. Omar. Touched out.
I think this might be the first time we've seen Gio Alvarado in this game, or at least in this half.
Definitely in this half. We saw him for a brief moment in the first. Saw a lot more playing time the first game that we did here at Sexton High School. Is that one, that cross intended for Gill. Right height, just a little bit off the line. And it goes out. 3:38 to go in this one.
Capital got a corner out of it.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to say last touch by Futsal Factory. I'm not sure who it hit, but Capital will not complain and Futsal Factory will not argue. Pass is knocked away by Boyd and out. Alvarado gets it in short. Back to Carey. Gill. Cross. Oh, that was between two men. That could have been a ball into the feet of Alvarado that he could have played off of. That could have been intended for Martinez all the way across. He might have been able to step into a shot, but it went right between the two of them. Neither knew who it was for, and it rolls out harmlessly with 3.5 to play.
Well, a foot one way or the other. Could have seen an opportunity there.
And that's the difference, really, between these two teams. As much as it's a 12-goal game, the real big difference is just how crisp and clean Futsal Factory are in possession, especially. Just creating these chances. Great entry passes to create shots, good finishing in front of goal. Capital Futsal, they've not been able to do that. They've not created easy chances for themselves. Misses in the attacking third, missed chances just because of misplaced balls, misplaced passes. And they're going to see that on the tape, and they're going to want to work on it.
Yeah, Factor's had a near perfect game, and that's the reason that they're at the top of their division.
Martinez touches it in, it's poked away. Gill trying to get back to it, taken away. Russell dances, shoots, blocked. We'll say Capital Futsal's done a much better job in the second half of rallying defensively and getting bodies in front of these shots. Russell in the corner, across, blocked out to the top, ripped, blocked by Brandow. The second effort is in though. Ben Pritchard, hat trick for him.
Well, Factory clearly showing they're not willing to just run the clock out. They are going to go right until the very final whistle.
Changes in for Capital. Changes in for both teams. More or less a full line change. David Riley. Back to Powers, plays it high and deep and out the back. Schwartz. Grounded ball to the feet of Kabetu.
It's another opportunity at the far post, completely unguarded.
Ryder stepping in, putting it out. 2:17 left in this one. Up next for Capital Futsal, a road trip. They got 3 road games. One more home game here at Sexton High School. That'll be April 4th against Inter-Detroit. You'll be able to watch that one right here on the National Futsal Premier League YouTube channel. As for the other 3, and that's a wild challenge from Storm Powers.
And
Lucky not to get booked, frankly, as Schwartz hits the deck with 2 minutes to go. The other 3 games, the road games, I believe should also be on this channel. So you should be able to catch the entire rest of the season for Capital Futsal right here
That was the 6th foul. Goalkeeper looking like he wants to take it.
Let him take it at this point. Why not? So they put it on the spot, and it will be Matt Pletcher. Goalie versus goalie here. Matt Pletcher will take this. Coleman Brandow in to defend, and referee going to quickly adjust the goal, which has come off the goal line ever so slightly. So here we go. Let's see if Matt Pletcher can etch his name into the scorer's book. No! Brandow blocks it with his foot. And the keeper is not beaten by the keeper.
Well, that's a huge morale boost for a goalkeeper, because when you get scored on by a fellow keeper, it always hurts a little bit more. Brandow being able to save that, maybe will have Pletcher feeling a little bit embarrassed, and that maybe he should have given it to somebody more tuned. But to what you said, 16-3.
Yeah, last 2 minutes, you let your goalkeeper, who's worked so hard and has frankly played quite well today, you let him have his chance at glory.
We saw last time we were here at this JW Sexton arena, it was Darwin Bostwick saving 2 from the spot.
Shot from distance is blocked by Riley. Final 90 seconds. Nice skip through the traffic, and a brilliant finish by Philip Lucht.
Brilliant job, just weaving in and out of 2 defenders and then placing it right up into the roof.
Can't meet it any better. Futsal Factory up by 2 touchdowns, 17-3. And Capital Futsal back to the drawing board for them. The good news for them, they only have one more match against Futsal Factory. And they've got 2 against Inter Detroit, 1 on the road, 1 at home. And those are the games that are going to determine if you finish in the top half of the division. That's a nice little bit of passing movement, and it's put into the back of the net by Powers. The cross by Schwartz. And we'll see how they score it. If they do give it to Schwartz, it would be his 4th. With 1:08 to go, I mean, obviously that's a strictly academic question.
Brandow's posture's just defeated. He's had a lot of saves this game.
Yeah, when you're on the receiving end of a game like this, you just want to go home, and that's fair. You played against a good team. You didn't play your best game, and skipping away from the defense, Schwartz going to have one more, gets past the defender, and tallies another. 53 seconds to go. All Futsal Factory. 53 seconds to go, and we'll see if Capital Futsal will push for another one. Pass is knocked away, picked up by Lucht. Passing and movement, Schwartz skips away, back to Schwartz. Schwartz trying to spin away, it's stolen. 38 seconds. Poked away and picked up by Pletcher. On to Kabetu, pass across, picked off. One more push for Capital Futsal, maybe. The shot, blocked. A good take from Ethan Ryder, but Pletcher didn't have to move much to stop it. 23 seconds, they get it back in quickly. Shot from distance by Powers is blocked. And Powers trying to defend Philip Lucht, and it goes up and out of play.
Well, the positive that Capital can take away is what you said earlier. 11-0 shutout last week. At least they got some goals on the board today.
Trying to work the ball in, and Brandow hits the post. Came together with an attacker. 10 seconds to go, ball stays in play. And Factory Futsal will wind down the final seconds of this one. Game's over. 19-3, the final. All Futsal Factory in this one. No doubt about it. They are the class of the Midwest. And with more than half the schedule in the books, they look primed to take the Midwest with little resistance. That's going to do it for us on this Sunday night broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us. For all of us at Open End Media, For my producer, Caleb Lewis, on the ones and twos, for Andrew Hall, I'm Colton Wesley. Thank you for joining us. Once again, your final score, Futsal Factory 19, Capital Futsal 3. You've been watching the National Futsal Premier League on the NFPL Network on YouTube.